is this cool and funky looking 3-point motif. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the Viola motif. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some acrylic yarn size 4 in 4 different colors. All right, so we're going to start with our color A and we're going to make a base ring. For that, we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to connect this by doing a slip stitch to the first chain that you made. So you're going to go into the first chain, grab the yarn, and do a slip stitch. Now this here is our base ring. We're going to be working into the center of the ring. If you pull the chains apart, you're going to see that there's a little hole in there. Let me show you here. A little hole in the middle, and that's where you're going to go into. So for row 1, we're going to chain 1. And into the ring, you want to do 6 single crochets. So we're going to go into the center of the ring and do my first single crochet, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And now we're going to close off this row by doing a slip stitch to the first single crochet that you made. So you find the top of that first single crochet and then do a slip stitch. This here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to chain 1, and you're going to work 2 single crochets into each of the single crochets of the previous row. So essentially into this first single crochet, the one that you did the slip stitch into there you want 2 single crochets. That's 1 and 2. Now into the next stitch, also 2 single crochets. That's 1, and into the same one, 2. And this is what we want to do all the way around. Basically, you're doing an increase into each stitch. So 2 single crochets into each stitch of the previous row. Do that all the way around, and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, I just went all the way around. And if you count your stitches, you should have 12. A total of 12 single crochets. This that I just did is my 12th. So now I can go ahead and do a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the row. So I find that first single crochet, insert my hook, and just bring it together with a slip stitch. This here is the end of row 2. Now for row 3, we're going to chain 1, and you want to do 1 single crochet into that first stitch, into the one that you did the slip stitch into, 1 single crochet. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. That begins the repeat, by the way. 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And then into the next one, you just want 1 single crochet. And that ends the repeat. So that was my first repeat. You want to do this 4 more times. So I'll do it again with you. Into the next stitch, 2 single crochets. That's 1 and 2 into the same. Into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. And that ends the repeat. So 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2, 1, 2, 1. And into the very last one, we're going to do 2 single crochets. So I'm going to do this 3 more times, the repetition of 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And I'll see you when I'm done that. Okay, I just did the last repetition. And so you should be left with 1 stitch into which you're going to do 2 single crochets into the same one. So into the same stitch, 2 single crochets. And then you're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch to the first stitch of the row. So go into that first single crochet and do a slip stitch. Now this here is the end of row 3. For row 4, we're going to start by doing a chain 1 and doing 1 single crochet into that first stitch. The same one that you did the slip stitch into, 1 single crochet. Now we're going to start the row repeat. We're going to do into the next stitch 2 single crochets. So into the next 2 single crochets. And now we want to do 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 into the next and 1 into the next. And that ends the repeat. We want to do this 4 more times around. So we're going to do it one more time with you. The repeat starts by doing 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So here's 1 and 2. And then you want to do 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 into the next and 1 into the next. And that's what you want to do all the way around. So I'm doing that 3 more times off camera, and I'll see you when I'm done. So I just finished my last repetition here, and I'm left with 2 stitches. So into the second to last one, we're going to do 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That's 1 and 2. And into the very last stitch, we're going to do just 1 single crochet. Now we can go ahead and finish this row by doing a slip stitch to the first single crochet off the row. This here is the end of row 4. Row 5, we're actually going to start it by joining our color B. So I'm going to grab that and pull it through the same loop that you currently have. Okay, so I've folded my color B, leaving a tail, and I'm just going to pull it through the same loop that I'm currently in. And now I can go ahead and pull color A down. So now that you've pulled color B through, you can go ahead and cut off color A, leaving a tail to weave it in after. So now with color B, we're going to start row 5. We're going to chain 1. And then starting in the same stitch as the chain 1, we're going to work 1 spike single crochet, inserting hook into the base ring. So a spike single crochet is going to be quite tall because we need to go into the base ring, but then bring our stitch nice and tall. So here's what we're going to do. We've already chained 1, and now you're going to yarn over, and we're going to insert our hook into the base ring. So bringing our hook in front of the work, we're going to insert our hook into that little hole there, grabbing the yarn through and pulling it up nice and tall. And you see how that brings your yarn to the front of the fabric like this. Now we're going to yarn over and then pull through all the loops. And this here is our spike single crochet. So now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to insert our hook to the left of the, okay, how do I explain this? To the left of this current spike single crochet you just made, but 1 row higher. So rather than going into the magic circle, we're going to go between the magic circle and row 1. You can see here, kind of at the base of the stitch. We just want it essentially to sit right under the stitch that we're currently in, but to begin a little higher than this one. So we're going to insert our hook into that spot. For this one, we yarned over, but please ignore that moving forward because it's a single crochet. So we just want to insert our hook into that spot between the base ring and the next row, right under the current stitch. Grab the yarn and pull it up nice and tall. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. So that's what's going to give us that kind of effect in the middle of the stitches coming up, like getting shorter. Now we're going to do this again. So I'm going to do the next stitch. We're going to do a spike single crochet at the same height that you just currently did this one, just a little bit to the left. Insert your hook into there, grab the yarn and pull up a loop nice and tall. Grab the yarn and complete your single crochet. That's our third one here. Now we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. So we've done, let me see, we've done 3. So for a half double crochet, yarn over, go into the next stitch and complete a half double crochet. Continuing the repeat, we are going to do 3 double crochets into the next stitch. So into the next stitch, into the same one, 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. And now we're going to go back to the spike single crochets. So this next one we're going to do into the same spot as I'm going to call this the long spike single crochet and the short one because it's 1 row higher, right? So we're going to do the short spike single crochet into this same row between the magic circle and the first row. So you're going to insert your hook into there, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and complete your spike single crochet. So that's the first one, and now we're going to do 1 spike single crochet over the next stitch, inserting hook through top of the first row. So for this one, let me see. For this one, we're going to do it even shorter. So this is the base ring, this is row 1, this is row 2. So we're going to do it on top of row 1. So it's just a little bit higher than the one that we just made. Insert your hook there. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And you can see that it's a little shorter. And I believe that ends the repeat. So this one's a little tricky. We're going to do it again together. We might even do this whole row together. So the one thing that I got to be mindful of is where are my stitches sitting to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So let's start the repeat again. It starts by doing 1 spike single crochet into the base ring, so the tallest one. We're going to insert our hook into the base ring, grab the yarn, and pull up a tall loop, and now complete your single crochet. Continuing the repeat, we're going to do 1 spike single crochet between the base ring and the first row. So into there, 1 spike single crochet, and pull up a loop. And you want to do this twice. So into the same kind of height between the base ring and first row, into there, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. Continuing the repeat, now we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, you want 3 double crochets. So here is 1, 2, 3. Now we want to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. And now we're going to do 1 spike single crochet, doing it into the top of the second row. So not between the base ring and the first row, but into the top of the second row. So base ring, row 1, row 2. So we're going to insert it below the stitch we're currently in between those rows. And now pull up a tall loop and do your spike single crochet. And now the last thing is going to be 1 spike single crochet on top of the first row. So base ring, first row. Underneath the loop that or the stitch that you're currently in. On top of that first row, insert your hook, grab the yarn and pull up a tall loop for a spike single crochet. So it's a little bit tricky. You're kind of creating this look in front of the work that will look nicer once you're done, I promise. I believe we only have to do this one more time because we're creating a triangle here. So let's do it again together. 1 spike single crochet into the base ring now. We're starting the repeat again. Into the base ring, grab the yarn and pull up a tall loop and complete your single crochet. Now we're going to do 1 spike single crochet between the base ring and the first row. So into that spot, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up a loop. Now we are doing we're doing that again. It's 2 times. So just a little bit to the left of it for the next stitch. And now we are going to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Then into the next stitch, 3 double crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3. Into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. And now we're going to finish off by doing that spike single crochet on top of row 2. So base ring, row 1, row 2. So under my current stitch on top of row 2, insert your hook and pull up a tall loop. Now we're going to do the spike single crochet on top of row 1. So base ring, row 1. Top of row 1, insert your hook, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And now we're going to do 1 spike single crochet on top of row 1. So let me see here. Base ring, row 1. And as you can see, this is my last stitch. So on top of row 1, insert my hook, grab the yarn, and pull up a loop for my spike single crochet. And now, let me see, I believe we should be done here. Now we just want to do a slip stitch to the first spike single crochet of the row. So you insert your hook into that first spike single crochet, grab the yarn and pull through to close. Now this here is the end of row 5. That was a bit of a tricky one. I don't love that this doesn't close here. So you might want to just kind of move the threads a little bit to bring it closer and like more similar to these. But now let's move on to row 6. We're actually going to bring forward our color C. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold color C, bring it through the same loop that you're currently in, pull down your previous color, and then just cut off your previous color. You're not going to need it anymore. And now we're going to start row 6. For this, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to do 1 spike single crochet, inserting your hook between the threads of the previous spike single crochet and through top of the first round. So this is going to get even more complicated. You see the 2 strands of the previous spike single crochet, right? And so we are going to insert our hook through those on top of the first row. So you can kind of move it a little bit. The first row is where the next 2 spike single crochets begin. So that's a good point of reference. I'm going to insert it through these strands at the height of the first row. Now pull my yarn through and bring it nice and tall. And then complete my spike single crochet there. Now we are going to do 1 spike single crochet over the next stitch, inserting your hook between the vertical threads of the previous spike single crochet and through the top of the second round. So these ones here begin at the first row, so we want to go above them a little bit. So we're going through the strands of that spike single crochet, but 1 row above to go at the second row. Now grab the yarn and pull up a tall loop and create your spike single crochet. Basically what we're doing is kind of intertwining the spike single crochet. And I don't know if that's the right word, but like making them go kind of inside one another. Let me see what we want to do next. So now for the next stitch, you just want to do 1 half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull up a loop and do your half double crochet. Now we want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, you want to do 2 double crochets. Here's 1. And 2. Into the next one, you want to do 3 double crochets. And you'll notice this is you should be at the 3rd double crochet of the previous row, of the corner, like the middle one. So into that one, you want 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, all into the same. Now we're going to move on to 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2. Into the next stitch, you want to do 1 double crochet. And into the next one, 1/2 double crochet. Now we're going to do 1 spike single crochet over the next stitch, inserting your hook between the threads of the second of the 5 previous spike single crochets and 1 round higher. So what that means is it says to go between the threads of second of 5 previous spike single crochets. So we've got the group here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go to the second one of them between the threads and 1 row higher. So this one begins here, meaning we want to go just a little bit above for that 1 row higher, and then insert your hook, grab, pull up a strand, and then complete the spike single crochet to go in between that. And that finishes the repeat. So once again, a little complicated. Let's do it again together. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the repeat, and it starts by doing 1 spike single crochet through the next spike single crochet between the threads and through top of the first row. So this is the base ring, right? Essentially where we are right now is at the tallest spike single crochet, the one that goes into the magic circle. That's where the repeat begins, and that's where this repeat began. So to begin the repeat, we go to the tallest spike single crochet, go in between those threads, but 1 row higher. So not in the magic circle, but on top of it, like at the top of the magic circle. Grab your yarn, pull the thread all the way up, and complete your spike single crochet. Continuing the repeat, we're going to do a spike single crochet over the next stitch, going through the threads like we have been doing this whole time, and on top of row 2. So this spike single crochet begins at the top of the magic circle. Therefore, we want to go a couple rows higher to begin it at the top of the second row, like so. And now we want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. The next stitch is the very last spike single crochet of that group. 1 double crochet there. Now we want to do 2 double crochets, or sorry, let's go back, guys. I'm sorry. This one here is supposed to be a 1/2 double crochet, not a double crochet. So let me do that. Into the last spike single crochet of the previous row, a 1/2 double crochet. Now we want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, 2 double crochets. Into the same one. Now into the next one, which is the corner stitch, you want to do 3 double crochets, all into the same. Now we're going to go back down, so into the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the same one. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And into the next stitch, 1/2 double crochet. Now, to finish off the repeat, we are going to do a spike single crochet into the second of the spike single crochet group of the previous row, and 1 row higher than that one. So basically this last stitch is the end of the repeat, and it goes into the first spike single crochet of the previous row. And then now we have the second one, which begins at the top of the first row, but we want it 1 row higher. So we're going to go between the threads, go 1 row higher than that one, and then do our spike single crochet through those threads. And that's the last stitch of the repeat. So we want to do this one more time. Going back to the beginning of the repeat, you are exactly at the highest spike single crochet of the previous row, doing that repetition at the corner, going all the way around. Do that and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, so I'm almost done the third repetition here. I've done I'm going to tell you after the peak, so the corner, the 3 double crochets, then 2, then 1, then a half double crochet. And now to finish off this row, I'm just going to do a spike single crochet into let me see here, into this one, through the threads, 1 row higher to finish off the repeat, which is the second of the spike single crochets there. And now we're just going to do a slip stitch to the first stitch of the row. This here is the end of row 6. And now we can move on to row 7. Now for row 7, you're going to grab your color D and we're going to join it at the same place that we're currently in through the same loop. So we're going to do the same strategy of folding our yarn and then pulling it through, pulling everything down and cutting our old color. So that's going to be that there. And now with this, we can start row 7. So we're going to chain 1 with our new color, chain 1. And we're going to start by doing 1 spike single crochet. We want to insert our hook between the threads of the previous one, which is this one here, and through top of the second round. So let me see here, 1, 2. So basically, it's going to be just a little bit higher than this one. This one, we did it at the base. So we can go kind of in the middle of this, right through the threads, and then grab our yarn and pull it up for a spike single crochet. Now we are going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So into the next stitch, 1 single crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to work the following: 1 half double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the same one. So to the same stitch, a double crochet. Now we're going to do the following repetition 4 times. So into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And into the next one, 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And that's the repetition we want to follow. We want to do that 3 more times, the last bit. So 3 more times, you're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch and then 2 into the next one. So 1 double crochet into the next, 2 into the next. Here's 1 and 2. And I want to do that twice more. I'm going to do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay. I just did that repetition, the total of 4 times. Continuing the repeat, we want to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And then we want to do 1 double crochet into the next. And into that same stitch, a half double crochet. Now we want to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And as you can see, we've come around the first kind of peak of the triangle. That's our full repetition there. I'm going to do it one more time with you. So the repeat's going to start by doing that spike single crochet through the, this is like the longest one of the row, the longest spike single crochet of the previous row. So you're going to go through those threads kind of in the middle of it. Then grab your yarn and pull up a loop and complete your spike single crochet there. Continuing on, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Into the next, you'll want to do 1 half double crochet. Into the same stitch, a double crochet. And now we're going to do the following repetition 4 times. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And into the next, 2 double crochets. So that's what you want to do 3 more times. Into the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Into the next, 2 double crochets. So that's my second repetition. I need that twice more. I'm going to do that off camera and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so I just did that repetition 4 times. Now we're going to do into the next stitch 1 double crochet. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet and a half double crochet. So into the same stitch, double crochet and half double crochet into the same one. And now to finish off the repeat, you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And there we have it. That's the second repetition for the second peak. Now you want to do this a 3rd time. Do that all the way around and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, I just did the last repetition here. I finished off with my single crochet. And now to finish off this row, we're just going to do a slip stitch to the first stitch of the row. Insert your hook into it, grab the yarn, and pull through. Now this here is the end of row 7. We're going to bring back our color B, and we're going to insert it into the same loop that you have. So we're going to do the same thing with our color B. You're going to fold it, and you're going to bring it through the loop. We're going to pull everything down and then start row 8 with that. You can go ahead and cut off your previous color. We're not going to need that anymore. Okay, and now for our last row, we're going to do a chain 1. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet into this same stitch, into the same stitch as the chain 1. Now we are going to start the row repeat. It starts by chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip the next stitch and into the next do a single crochet. And this is what we want to do all the way around. So we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then skip the next stitch into the next single crochet. Chain 5. Skip the next stitch into the next single crochet. Let me see. I'm going to do this with you. Basically, we want to go all the way around the petal. 2, 4, 5. So you want 9 of these repetitions around. Let me see which one this is. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7th repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8th repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 9th repetition. So that's what we want around the petal. Now here you're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to skip the next stitch and then do 1 single crochet into the next. So after you've done 9 of these kind of loops, you're going to finish off with the single crochet. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and into the next one, do a single crochet. And that next one is going to be the spike single crochet of the previous row. It's going to be like right at the middle of the petal. So we do our single crochet there. And now we can go back to the beginning of the repeat, which starts by chaining 5, skipping a stitch, and then into the next doing a single crochet. And doing that 8 more times to bring you all the way around. Then you're going to skip a stitch and do a single crochet into the spike single crochet of the previous row to finish the repeat. You do that all the way around. And then at the end here, you're just going to do a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the row. Then you can cut off your yarn and thread your ends through. And here we have it. Look how funky this looks. This is really cool because the center kind of feels like it's hiding behind those threads. And then on the outside, you've got this cool, funky edge. Super cool. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.